Hello, hello. Well, today, in continuing with our business series and what we want, I wanted to ask you, what do you want? What do you want for you? What do you want for your business? And it's one of those questions that I find so fascinating because a lot of us can't answer what we want. And this conversation was spurred on yesterday. I asked, how do you want your business to look? Are you ready to take your business to the next level in 2020? And I certainly am. And last night I was at an event and I was talking to a woman who could potentially be, she's just like my ideal client. And when we started talking, we were laughing about the fact that, here she is, she's an attorney, she's had some phenomenal jobs, she's worked on some phenomenal cases early on in her career, and she's had 3 kids, and now she's going, I don't know who the hell I am, and I don't know what I want to do, and I don't know what I want. And so we began to, we started just chit-chatting back and forth, and I was telling her my story, and, it's one of those, you think because someone has a degree and you're an attorney that you know what you want. That's a job, that's a position, it's a title. And here she is, and she has 1 kid who will have their license here shortly. And any of you, or if you remember what it was like when you were 16 and you got your license, it was off you went, and you didn't really need your, you didn't need your parents as much anymore. So, and her comment to me was, it was just like, here I am. She said, I used to be this fun person. I used to know exactly what I wanted. I know exactly what to do, how I was going to get it. And here I am now, and I don't know what I want. And so that prompted my conversation for today is, what do you want? What do you want for your business? What do you want for you? And so many of us can't answer that question, at least not from that perspective. A lot of us can answer the question from the perspective of what we don't want. Hi, Jennifer. Thanks for watching. In case we haven't met, I'm Joanne Brown, and I'm the host of The Connected CEO. And I work with women who are stepping into their second act to find their passion, turn it into profits, live in purpose, and create impact in their community and enjoy their freedom. So if you're watching this video or this live and you'd like to ask a question, go right ahead. If you're watching it on the replay, please let me know, #replay. I do encourage, if you've got some questions, please let me know. You can message me, or you can just put them in the comments below. I have had my own businesses for the last 24 years. I've had several service businesses. I've had commercial real estate business, and my last business, which was not very successful, was a product business. Product businesses are not my forte, but service definitely is. But to get back to what do we want, and most of us can answer that question from the opposite end, which is what we don't want. And that is, we don't want to be in debt. We don't want to be stuck. We don't want to waste our time. So if you can answer that from the opposite end, from the opposite side, what would it be like if you could turn that around and say, okay, so if I don't want to be in debt, I want to make X number of dollars. If I don't want to be stuck, then I want to be clear on my vision. So how do I get there? And we've talked about clarity before, and clarity comes with action. And so as this woman and I were talking, we got to, we got to some interesting comments that she made, which a lot of us make as we're stepping into our second act. There's that fear of what other people are going to think. There's the fear of possible failure. There's a fear of, do I really want to do this? Do I really want to invest my time? I know I want to do something that's meaningful. So many of you, and myself included, we're at this stage where we want to do something where we're going to make an impact, where we're going to have, we're going to we live in purpose, with purpose. And that is a huge driving force with so many of us. And so we just really need to sit back and let ourselves think, what do we want? But so many of us are afraid to think what we want because we've been conditioned to avoid that. We've been conditioned to believe that wanting more, to desire more, are wrong. When in actuality, it's interesting because we don't when we allow ourselves to dream big, we really don't dream about things that we're not capable of doing. Because remember, your brain will keep you safe. Now, it may tell you, you want to make 100K as opposed to 500K or as opposed to $1 million. If you're going to make 100K, why not shoot for $1 million? I mean, it's not going to take that much more time. So it's interesting. So when we're talking about what we want, we aren't clear about that. So we do it from the opposite perspective. And then secondly, we then are afraid to really dream big because of the stories and the conditioning that we've had throughout our life. And we allow that to keep our dreams smaller and to make us feel, it's not right. When in actuality, we are, desire is an emotion. We're desirable beings. We desire to have fun. We desire to have a nice life, be with friends, family. We desire to have an impact on our community. And I'm not saying that you have to desire to, all of us have to desire to make 6 figures or 7 figures, but the desire is that when you're making that money, then you have more of an impact on your community. You can have more of an impact. The more income that you make, the more impact you have. The options are greater. But so many of us will not allow ourselves to go there. And then the other things is that when we're making these decisions, we keep our decisions and our desires in this little box because we think of the things that we're going to have to give up. Maybe our weekends, maybe our holidays, maybe our time with friends, our time with family. All those limitations and all those stories keep our dreams and our desires smaller and contained. And we think, okay, well, when I look at that, if I can work here for XYZ company and make close to what I want or make what I think I need, and I know that with that company, I'm going to have my health insurance, I'm going to have my week's, my vacation time, I'll have my 401k, yada, yada, yada. But it's also not yours. It's not something that you're building from you. It's not something that you desire to do. You're fulfilling someone else's dream. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but if that's not what you want, for example, this woman she's working, couple days a week for a large company, and she's doing it on her terms, which is great. But like she said, she goes, I'd rather be doing something else. I want to do something that's more meaningful to me. Okay. What does that look like? What is more meaningful to you? What would that look like? So if you've taken the time to dream about what you want, or what you don't want, I should say, and you don't want to be stuck. So if you don't want to be stuck, you want to be clear. So how are you going to get clear? And if you don't want to be in debt, you want to have money. So how much money do you want? And let yourself dream as big as you can go. Let your imagination stretch as far as you can go. So flip it around and let's look at the possibilities. So you don't want to give up time with your friends and your family. What if you knew that you would have more time? You could still have time with friends and family. Let's look at the possibilities. You know, so many of us, and I am so in this boat. You know, when every business that I've started, there's always been that startup phase. You know, be prepared to not make any money for several years. You know, you're going to work your butt off and you're going to pour everything into it. And I did. And I've done it. But I also know people who haven't done it. I know people, and you know people, that seem to have gone out there, and for whatever it is that they're doing, you know, their first post on, you know, for their new product or their new service, they break in 5 figures or 6 figures. It just like, it's like, whoa, because their mindset's different. Their mindset isn't setting them up to say, it's going to take a long time. They're just throwing it out there and going, guess what? This is great. I am going to kill it. I'm going to make 6 figures in 6 months. Or my first launch, I'm going to knock it out of the park, and I'm going to break all records. I'm going to make $100,000, whatever it is, whatever that number is for you. It's all in the way that we approach it. If we're going to approach it that it's going to take us time, and we're going to have to work hard, and we're going to have to sacrifice, guess what? That's what it's going to feel like. It's going to feel like hard work, sacrifice, you know. And I'm not saying that it's not going to, at times it's not going to be hard work, and at times you're not going to have to rearrange, you know, your schedules to accommodate something that's coming up in your business. Absolutely. You do it now for somebody else. Why not do it for yourself? Why not do it for your family, for your future? And that's, to me, is the ultimate payoff, is doing what you love when you want and making money at it, and how often you want to do it. So you can have a successful business and still have the family and still have your friends and still be connected to your community. That's what the connected CEO is. That's what a connected CEO is someone who is doing what they love and still connected with everything else in their life. And that is when you know that you're successful. And that's when you know you've reached your potential. So stay in question. Work from possibilities. Look at your possibilities. Look at the fact that you have the opportunity, that you can make this business simpler than it needs to be. We make it more difficult than it needs to be. Elaine, you know I'm talking to you too. So I'm talking to myself about this. I'm speaking to both of us. So stay in the question. Do more of what lights you up. And do what gets you moving. Because we've all got the opportunities. And it's just a matter of, do you want to look at what you don't want, or do you want to look at what you do want? So let's look at what we do want and be the connected CEO. We can all be the connected CEO. Yes, so Elaine says, yes, do what you love and feel it's a part of you. So I would love to hear what you guys want. I would love to hear that. The Connected CEO. It's all about doing what you love, staying connected with your family, your friends, and your community, and making an impact and an income. So until next time, make it a great day.